I've got a kit here which is a signal generator, so I thought I would make that up today. I've had another signal generator before, this one, which is quite nice because it came in a box, but it's got a few problems which have been well documented by other YouTubers, so I won't go into it, but I couldn't resist buying another kit and making a different thing, so that's what I'm going to do today. So we have a printed circuit board, which it's got good silk screening on it. You can see very clearly where the inputs and outputs are, and all the components are nicely marked on there, so it should be quite easy to put this one together. That's quite a nice clean design. And then we've got I think that's a variable resistor. Yeah. A couple of presets. Knob. Another preset. Some connectors, and then various resistors, capacitors. There's a diode there. Switch. And then finally the chip itself. Which is the 8038. So that's a different chip to this one here. This uses the XR2206 chip, or well, what other people on the internet and YouTubers have said is that this XR2206 is not an authentic chip. It's a clone chip from Chinese manufacturers. This is one of the problems with it. The clone chip doesn't work at some voltages, I think. So just fire up the soldering iron and get started. So we could start with the resistors. So that is, I'm not very good at reading the 4-band resistors, but that's definitely 10 something. There are 3 of them. These ones will be 33. And what's this one? It looks like it might be the same. Yeah, so there are 4 of those. Looking at the board, so we've got, I can see 33k, 1, 2, 3, 4 33k's, and then 10k's, 1, 2, is that it? Oh, 3. So there's 3 10k's. Oh, and that's a 200 ohms. So do I have a 200? Oh yeah, I was probably reading this one back to front. So if it's got red on the left, then it's 2 something. So that'll be the 200 ohm. Those will be the 10k's, and those will be the 33k's. Do the 10Ks also. Doesn't really matter which way around these go, of course, but I always like to line up the resistors all in the same way if I can. Don't know if you can hear the wind in the background. It's a very windy day today in mid-March. Okay, and then there's the 200. Just double check. 0.2K, yes. Oh, missed one. That one doesn't look too good either. Okay. Okay, and there's a diode to put in there as well. So let's get that one in. Actually, that's oh no, that would be the LED over there. Yeah, I think this diode's just to stop you connecting the power the wrong way. put the LED in as well. Let's just make sure that's flush on the board. Okay. Don't like LEDs to be sticking out funny angles. Okay. Let's put the presets in. Are these both the same value? They are not. So that says 203, so that goes here. And the other one is 104. Legs are a bit bent on this one. Okay. It's a jaunty angle, isn't it? Let's try and do better than that. It's better. Okay. What next? Let's put this switch in, I guess. Where does that go? Alright, yeah. I don't suppose it matters which way around the switch goes. Right, I'm just going to try and tack one end in. This is where, you know, you really need three hands for doing soldering, so we have to kind of improvise a bit sometimes. Let's just get that upright. Okay, looks good. Let's do the other end. Okay, looks all right. Let's put this in. So it's on the board there. It says coarse and fine. So you've got two adjusters. So I guess you've got the preset here. Fine adjustment. again. I'll just tack one end and try and get it properly upright. Okay, so there's a few capacitors to go into place. The electrolytic goes over here. C104 will be one of these ceramic ones. There's two 104s, so goes over there. And then these fellas, not sure what kind of capacitor these are. Don't seem to have any markings on. Oh yeah, 103, 102 and 103. That's very faint. So 103 goes in here, and the 102 next to it. Whoa, it's falling out. Good. Right, there's no chip socket in the kit, but I've got one in a box somewhere, so I think I'll put one in. Right. Is this correct? Can't get it in. corners tacked in. It's nice and flat, so I can do all the rest now. Some gunk on the soldering iron. Looks a bit yucky. Right. Okay, a couple of dodgy looking joints there. Let's just inspect with the magnifying glass. Yeah, looking good. So we've got a couple of these screw connectors here. These obviously have to face out so you can wire things in. They're not always really great, these connectors, because you can put a lot of stress on the board with these. That one's a bit wonky, isn't it? And if I can heat two of these at the same time, maybe. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Alright, so that's all the components in place. Let's put the knob on there. Right, let's put the chip in. I do have a chip inserter somewhere, but can't be bothered to go and look for it. Oops. There we are. All done. So all I need to do now is connect up some power. I'm not sure what voltage this is. I have to go and look up the board and see. I'm sure it's probably 5 volts, but I'm going to check. And then I can connect it up to the oscilloscope. Right, so here we are. I've connected the module up now. I couldn't find the where I've actually bought this module from, so I can't find any data on it now. But I looked at the data sheet for the 8038 chip, and it can be operated up to 36 volts, I think it was. So I decided to connect up 10 volts. So I've got 10 volts coming from my bench power supply, and it's drawing about 100 milliamps. So let's connect it up to the oscilloscope. So I've got the square wave connection on the bottom here. stand up a bit. Okay, so we've got a square wave. I can see this characteristic sort of overshoot here, which you sometimes get with power supplies. It's a capacitive effect there. But let's run the auto set on the oscilloscope. There we go. So you can still see this slight overshoot on the square wave. That's 45 Hertz. I think that's turned all the way down there. So and that goes up to 490 Hertz. There seem to be two ranges here, so we'll try the other range in a minute. But if you want to hear what that sounds like, let's put this amplifier on. I'm going to use a capacitor on the end because I believe this is DC output, so it might have a DC offset that could upset my amplifier. Let's plug that in. There you go. So that's about 500 Hertz. I'll just turn it down the other way so you can hear the 45 Hertz if you like. And then we've also got the triangle wave. Can't hear anything now. Sine wave. Well, that's very quiet. Let's turn that up a bit. So that's the sine wave output. That's the triangle wave output. Right, if we flip this switch now, and we get higher frequency, so that's about 600 Hertz at the bottom, going up to 6 kilohertz, which is still audible, so let's put that on for you. So that's quite a high frequency. So this, it's not a huge range on here, but then there's only a fixed number of, they've got fixed components, so I think you'd have to have a switching arrangement to switch different values of capacitor in and so on if you wanted to have a wider range. So let's have a look at the sine wave as well. So let's take that off there. Sine wave is the blue wire. Okay, yeah, there is a bit of a DC offset there, but that's not a bad shape of sine wave, is it? It's not too bad. So I'm not sure what these offsets, these presets are for. Alright, that's for adjusting the shape of the sine wave. Actually it says dist there, which I guess must be short for distortion, so you can adjust the distortion, and that's the duty cycle. It actually says duty on the board there. If I just flip back to the sine wave for the square wave, and we can look at that. Let's just turn that down. So if I mess with the duty cycle, there we go. So that's more on than off. That's more off than on. Put that in the middle somewhere. Yeah, just for completeness, let's have a look at the triangle wave. Let's see what the triangle looks like. Again, this is not at all a bad shape for a triangle wave, is it? So there we go, that's the 8038 signal generator kit. I'll try and find where I bought it from and put the data down below in case you wanted to order this one as well. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.